station. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Oh, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train.
Welcome everyone
Welcome,
to
everyone.
Center of Spiritual Living. Keep it going.
People all over the world, join hands.
From
start a love
Unity
train.
and Center for Spiritual Living. Let's keep it going. The words are people all over the world, join hands, start a love train. You can do that. Here we go. We go.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. The next stop that we make will be England. If you know this song, sing it. Yes. Tell all the folks in Russia and China too. Don't you know that it's time to get on board and let this train keep on riding on through. That's right. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Next stop, all of your brothers over in Africa. Now the people in Egypt.
There you go.
Tell all the folks in Egypt and Israel too.
Please don't miss this train.
Please don't miss this train at the station. 'Cause if you miss it, I'll feel sorry, sorry for you. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Oh, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train.
Okay, now join hands again.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Tread
That's right. That's a flashback.
Are you still doing another song? Okay, thank you. That was awesome.
We're going to let that ride.
Oh, I guess I'm up. I'm so in the mood here. All right. That was awesome. Man, what a song can do to shift our mood, huh? To lift our mood. Woo. Thank you, you two. So, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley in partnership with Medford Unity. I'm Kimberly Hawkins. I am the spiritual director here. It's great to see your faces and hear your voices this morning. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive faith community, and our mission is to teach tools to transform personal lives and help make a world that works for all. We welcome you no matter where you may happen to be on your own personal spiritual journey. We honor all paths to the one God, the one divine presence. If you're here for the first time, we'd love for you to raise your hand so we can give you a little love. We promise we won't follow you home. Welcome. Welcome, Cindy. And let's see, what else do I have to tell you this morning? These are our beautiful musicians. If you haven't met them before, you're in for a treat. Alexa Ehrlich and Lauren James. Thank you so much for that opening song. What a perfect selection. They came to me because I wanted an upbeat song before I got up to talk, and they came to me and said, you know, we chose something else and we could sing our release. And I went, no, because they always choose the most amazing music. Perfect. Yeah, they do. So we gave them free rein. We'll see what they have. So let's see, what else? Let's see, we have Reverend Stephanie Clark, who is going to be doing our reading and invocation opening prayer. Carol Wythe, our practitioner, did a beautiful meditation this morning. She's holding high watch. She's praying throughout the service for everyone's highest and best good. We want to say a special welcome to everybody watching us online, either live or later. I want to acknowledge our video crew, headed up by Corey Rennick. Yay, Corey. And this morning we have Shannon Schnibbe, Vivian Lacey, and Tom Frederick on sound. Our ushers this morning are Joy and Terry. Are you ushering? Okay, I'm not sure. I like to include everybody because it takes a village, doesn't it? It takes a village to put on the service. So I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. If I am, thank you all, especially Michael and Michael for the food that we will share afterwards as we fellowship together. So I think that's it. If you have not already done so, please turn your cell phones either off, silent mode, or airplane mode, off or airplane mode, so that we're not interrupted by the 5G stuff. I'm going to turn it back over to our musicians. As always, hold your applause, if you will, as tempted as you may be after this particular song, because we'll go right into a silent time of prayer. So here we go.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know.
how good it is to move ever more deeply into the silent source within. Acknowledging the one power, the one presence, the one life, that which is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, that which is pure love, pure wholeness, pure peace, pure joy. It is the all in all. It is the everythingness, the nothingness. It is all that I am, and it is all that each one here is. We are spirit in the flesh, fashioned by the divine hand. We, each of us, are another way that spirit has manifested itself on earth as it already is in heaven. I know that we are here by divine appointment this morning, that something is emerging here that is not only a blessing to each one of us, but to the entire planet. For one with God is the majority. And we're speaking the word here for the truth to be made manifest here this morning, the truth to be known, to be heard, and then manifested. And all there is love. I am that, so too is everyone here. So that truth is now emerging. It's emerging, I'm calling it forth, and I know that everything that occurs in this service is a portal, it's a channel, it's a way for love to emerge in greater fullness than ever before we met here this morning. And I bless my dear sister, Reverend Kimberly, and know that her talk is filled to overflowing with truth that is easily absorbed, heard, integrated, such that each of us is transformed. And then going out from here, we do our sacred work as light workers, transforming the planet and everyone that we meet. And I bless our musicians this morning and know that they are perfectly in tune with the infinite, perfectly in tune with each other, and perfectly in tune with everyone here. So the music this day uplifts the talk, just as the talk uplifts the music. There is a divine synergy taking place here. It is a blessing to all present. Bless those who watch on the live stream. Bless those who are making the live stream possible, our beautiful audio-visual team, and everyone who is in here in service to the one. I name this service good, good, and very good. I know it fulfills the purpose for which it was sent. How grateful I am that Spirit is on the field here, that the divine outcome is perfect, that everything unfolds in accordance with grace. And so I release the word now. I let it be. I know the work is done in consciousness, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. So the reading I picked this morning is from the book Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the work of Abraham. So this section is called Deliberate Creation is about choosing better feeling thoughts. Many say, once that condition changes, I'll feel better. When I have more money, or move into a better house, or find a better job, or a better mate, then I'll feel better. We do not disagree that it does feel better to observe something that is pleasing rather than something that is not. But that is going about it in a very backwards way. Deliberate creation is not about the condition changing and then you're finding a better feeling in response to the changed condition. Deliberate creation is about choosing a thought that feels good when you choose it, which then causes the condition to change. For example, unconditional love is really about wanting so much to remain in connection with your source of love that you deliberately choose thoughts that allow your connection, no matter what manifestations may be happening nearby. And when you are able to control your point of attraction by deliberately choosing better feeling thoughts, The conditions that surround you have to change. The law of attraction says that they must. Thank you very much.
No more fighting, hearts uniting, all one people, all one dream. Hate is dying, love is rising on our world awakening. Children of one God, one planet, let the earth and heaven sing. Join the angels, joyous strains, all on a world awakening. Oh, for a world awakening. Oh, for a world awakening. One day all the world is watching. Time weaves us a common theme. Peace our anthem, all are welcome to a world awakening. Oh, in a world awakening. Oh, in a world awakening. New ideas and new beginnings, that's what each tomorrow brings. Freely giving, we are living in a world awakening. Oh, in a world awakening. Oh, in a world awakening. Oh, on a world awakening. Hate is dying, love is rising on a world
Oh my goodness. Oh, See why I didn't say, yeah, change what you had planned? I think we can go home now. That was stunning, you guys. You amaze me every time. Thank you. Not only in the selection, which is awesome, but also in the delivery. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Aren't you glad you came? I'm feeling like it's a little bit dark in the sanctuary. Vivian, could you just make that dimmer up a little bit? Am I right? Yes. It's a little bit dark. Thank you, Corey. Just a little tweak. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Good. Yeah. You know, I was Carol's mantra that she led us in this morning for the meditation. I transcend any thoughts, words, or actions that block my connection to the light. Oh my. And then, a world awakening. And yes, the world is awakening. And how does that happen? We start that love train in consciousness. That's how it happens. I got chills. Oh my goodness. So I'm so privileged to be up here, to be able to continue what we've started this morning. I chose as our topic, our theme for the month of November, Autumn's golden invitation. And I think really it should be Autumn's golden invitations, because if we pay attention to nature, it so beautifully has so many lessons and invitations to beckon us to a higher understanding of the way things work and to be in peace and to be in the flow. Yes? Yeah. The first week, my talk was called Simply Letting Go. And the obvious metaphor during autumn is how beautifully and gracefully the trees just let go of their leaves. And we are called then to let go this time of year of anything that does not serve us. Perhaps things that once did serve us, but don't anymore. Any limiting beliefs, any unforgiven feelings, and so on. Last week, I thought Reverend Bonnie, how many were here last week? It was a big crowd. I thought Reverend Bonnie did a beautiful job for delivering a post-election message and had, yes, oh. She had to change a little bit what she had planned, but her topic was let it be and trust that all things work together for the good, because that's what we truly believe. There is no opposite, there is no opposition to God or to love. It appears that way, obviously, sometimes. So this week, I came up with I think it's an interesting, you may not, title, Changing the Channel. And this has a lot of meaning to me, because as Stephanie so beautifully read to us, what we focus on, what we feel, what we watch, creates what we experience. So what channel have we been watching, and what channel do we want to switch to? I was reminded when I picked this title, I went back east, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, with Reverend Linda Rapond, and we stayed for about 10 days in a cabin owned by some friends of ours in the New Hampshire woods. And our friends told us, they were just delighted to have us take a retreat there, and did it as a gift to us mostly, and had some words of advice. And one of the pieces of advice they gave us was there was a sunroom, I guess you'd call it, on this cabin. We were there in mid-September, so it wasn't really warm, but there were glass louvered windows all across this sunroom, and they overlooked a lake and trees, and they said, sit quietly and just watch bird TV. There was not a television in the place. There was music. And then they said either that or nature TV, because we sat there every morning. It was a little chilly, as you can imagine, in New Hampshire in mid-September in the morning. So we'd be there in our sweats and our robes with a steaming cup of coffee for about 2 hours every morning. It was delicious. And we were doing the Course of Miracles, year 1 at that point, so we'd listen to our Course of Miracles lesson, and then we would simply meditate with eyes open, watching. The birds roost in the branches, the trees gently, start to fall, the squirrels running up and down the tree. And it was so, so delicious. So that was Nature TV. And if any of you follow me on Facebook, and I know I'm not the only one, I've been doing Nature TV a lot. I was away last weekend in the most beautiful hiking. And there's something about nature that it just reminds us that, you know, the world, the universe, God is so much more than what is going on in the immediate political realm or whatever realm we're in, our families and so on. It's so much more vast. On Saturday night, I was with a bunch of us at Roxanne Winery to dance to a band, and I walked outside for a moment to go to the other building. And how many of you caught the supermoon? Wow. So I think another way of, you know, changing the channel to a larger perspective is, I remember as a kid sitting outside at night, lying on the grass in Pennsylvania and just watching the stars, you know? That there's a way for us to transcend any thoughts, feelings, or actions that block our connection to the light that is the divine. So in this time of political turmoil, of blaming and name-calling and divisions and so on, I think it's especially, you know, changing the channel, whether we watch CNN or Fox TV, that's one way we can change the channel. I recommend no TV at all, actually, and I think a lot of you have been cutting back on watching the news because sometimes it does block our connection to the light. You know, we get kind of sidetracked. There's nothing wrong with staying up to date about what's going on in current events. I think that's probably a good thing because we may be called to take action, yes, but to get super absorbed in it just is not healthy. So there's the forgiveness channel too, you know. I think we need to be paying attention to that one. What is it we're called? The Course in Miracles tells us, and I've said this probably 1,000 times, that everything anybody says or does is either an expression of love or a call for love, a call for help and healing. And if we take that vantage point when we look at others with whom we may disagree, it really helps us grow our compassion, our understanding, our patience. I'm going to ramble today, but I'm going to give myself permission to ramble because there's so many ways we can feed ourselves, we can nurture ourselves. I was listening to an Insight Timer, and some of you may have seen this. There was a quote in there, I can't remember who it was by, but it was, nature's greatest lesson she has to teach us: patience. Patience. The trees don't rush the time of dropping their leaves. They don't rush the time of spring. They lay dormant all winter and have patience with it. And you'll notice some trees will bud. I have a maple in my front yard that's always the last one to lose its leaves, which is kind of annoying because you want to rake them up and you just got to wait. I had somebody come to my house the other day and ask if he could clean our gutters. And I said, yeah, but come back in a couple weeks because the leaves are still falling. But patience, just trusting the flow, the natural cycle of everything. So this Bible quote stood out for me today. It's from Matthew chapter 7, verses 3-5. You probably know it. Why do you see the speck in your brother's eye or your sister's eye, but don't notice the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? First, take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. And don't we do that? Both sides of the political divide think the other side is crazy, stupid, ignorant. You fill in the blank, right? We both do it. But we need to take that awful acrimony out of our consciousness. We need to release it. We need to forgive. We need to see, as Stephanie who was it? Was the reading? Wait a minute, what was it? Oh, it was the song. Be still and know that you are God. Some people get upset at that, but we are each not all that God is, the transcendent notion of God, but we are each individual expressions of the divine. If God is all there is, and we believe that, then there's nothing for each one of us to be made from but divine cloth. So we are each divine, and we need to see each other as that expression. That's changing the channel, all right, yeah? And you know what? It's not always easy, and I'm not here to tell you I'm doing it perfectly, because I'm not. I'm working it. I'm working it every day. But what I know is when we hang on to that judgment and anger and idea that we're separate, are we happy? Heck no. Heck no. So the way to peace, as well as the way to transforming the world, is to see us as one. That is the only way. Someone recommended, and she's not here today, that I listen to Tara Brach, you know, the Buddhist teacher. I love her, and I hadn't heard her recently, and she did a beautiful talk the day after the election. And she told it, I recommend listening, she's on YouTube. She told several stories, but one of them really touched me. It was the story about two men standing on a bridge in North Carolina right after the Hurricane Helene hit. And they were both eyeing the devastation below and just had their hearts broken. One of the men was in a truck with MAGA signs all over it and flags, and the other apparently was of a different political persuasion. But the two of them, taking in what had happened and feeling so bad, had no words for each other, but they naturally and automatically approached each other and gave each other a hug. And you know, I think in times of real tragedy, think of 9/11 and so on, we do come together, we do change the channel, we get a bigger picture. We're not looking at how you're different from me and how you're stupid and blah, 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 blah. We look at how can we come together to heal, to make things better as a world. And here's another Bible quote. I don't always have a Bible quote in my talks, but Matthew 5. If you're offering a gift at the altar and there remember your brother has something against you, leave your gift. Go first and reconcile with your brother, then come and offer the gift. In other words, in my interpretation, if we come to worship, to recognize the divine, to celebrate our divinity, if we know out there somebody has a problem with something we did, we can't expect, that's one way we need to remove, to transcend an obstacle to our connection to the light, is to transcend our differences with our brothers and sisters. Yes? So we need to do what we can to reconcile, because without that, we don't have a true connection with God. Are you with me? Yeah. Again, easier said than done. So another of this invitation of nature, I believe, is to get still. What a perfect song. And I love that quote, and I love that mantra, be still and know that I am God. I've used that in a meditation some of you may have, be still and know that I am. And then you be quiet for a while, and then be still and know. Because we don't know, meaning, as the Course in Miracles tells us, our perceptions can be off. We can perceive this and that and the other thing and have all kinds of judgments, but true knowledge is not something we get in the head. It's something we imbibe through the heart when we get still, and that still small voice speaks to us, because we believe in science of mind and unity, that we each have our own answers within, because the divine is within us as well as all around us. So getting still. And nature does that, doesn't she? I mean, the animals are preparing to hibernate. The trees are just bare. You know, it's just getting still, and it's dark. We're approaching the longest night of the year, and I don't know about you, but I'm going to bed earlier. I'm wanting more sleep. I'm getting still. There's something so healing. And then there's this idea of seeds. I was in yoga class this week, and my teacher talked about a seed. When it's under the ground, it has to struggle its way through cracked, dry earth, maybe not dry, but hard earth, to come into the light and to begin to bloom into the plant or tree it's meant to be. It also needs to crack open. A seed can't produce its shoots unless it cracks open. And so I think that is a beautiful metaphor for what we're going through too. We're going through a time of turmoil, a time of strife, and if we are open, like the seed, to being cracked open by what's going on, and to trust that we will reach up to the light eventually, that is a process I think that nature invites us to enter into as well. It was this morning that I listened to Tara Brach, and she too was on this change the channel to nature theme. And what she said was, trees, let's take a pine tree that endures brusque winds, right? And it has to flow and be resilient. What the wind does is it encourages the tree to have what's called a heart core. I think that's what she called it. That hard, sturdy core inside is grown and what's the word I want? strengthened by the winds. And the tree, of course, also shoots its roots out to stabilize itself. And when it shoots its roots out, it meets the other trees, right? They connect under the ground. We know aspens especially, this is true of. And again, what a beautiful metaphor for us, that if we can allow our hearts to be softened rather than hardened by the strife we're going through, if we can choose to change the channel and look at someone else as our brother, our sister in spirit, and we grow compassion and we grow wisdom because we're getting still, we're happier, and we're transforming things around us simply by the consciousness we hold. And those roots, I think one of the reasons we had a big crowd last week was because people needed to be here in community after the election results. So it's so important, I think, to stay connected and join hands like you did for us in the beginning. It's beautiful, beautiful. Again, lessons from nature. So I found a poem. I know you won't be surprised by my recent favorite poet, mystic poet, Chalon Harkin. She talks about nature too, and it's called Read the Fine Print. Read the fine print. Some days I awaken so certain of the world's goodness. This poem is a reminder for those other days when I need to convince my stubborn mind that all is still well. I think that might apply to most of us right now. Let me present the evidence. Have you noticed all the fastidious care that went into pinning up so many stars to decorate the night sky? What did that? And the way all of nature has a tidiness to it, even gnarled trees, even dirt. Or sit a moment and puzzle over the masterful origami of each flower and think, what cosmic interior decorator chose that gold for those rolling hills? And before that, who thought up tenderness? What is it that came up with all these colors? And what genius said autumn? My only simple conclusion as I sit amazed at the pileup of gifts is that we're part of a great contract of goodness. And there's love written into every atom if you get close enough to read the fine print. Whew, that one got me. I get chills even though I've read it many times. So I once heard someone say, if you really get to know someone, really get to know that core heart like the trees have, you can't help but love them. Have you ever experienced that? Even if you disagree on many, many things and values and things you may think are important. And you know what? I tend to think this political divide is not so much that we're that different, because I believe at the core of our being, we all do want the same things. We want peace, we want prosperity, we want health for our loved ones and for others, really, at our core. So changing the channel, let's stop the blaming, the naming, the analyzing, the worrying, the fretting, the forecasting. Let's stop it. Those things that we can transcend, that block our connection to the light, as Carol's mantra kept telling us. And getting still. I mean, I know I'm preaching this, I've preached it 1,000 times, and I know I'm preaching mainly to the choir. Now more than ever, it is important to get still, to practice self-care. If you go to yoga or you dance or you paint or you sing or you walk in nature, do it. I came across a quote in one of my Course in Miracles lessons that I thought was really interesting. In the autobiography of a yogi written by Paramahansa Yogananda, who of course was the Hindi teacher who came from India to the West to spread Eastern philosophy and meld Eastern and Western religious beliefs. And beautiful book if you haven't read it. I know a lot of you have. And his guru, he was quoting his guru, Sri Yukteswar, who said this: the level of development of the seeker is not determined by the amount of time one meditates. Maybe you can guess what it is. Rather, the level of development of a seeker is determined by the levels of bliss experienced in meditation. Bliss is possible now. Bliss is possible always. Bliss, yes, bliss. Yesterday was Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah. Saturday morning, I had a delicious meditation because it was a day off. And then I went to Reverend Karen, not Reverend, she is a Reverend, but not officially, Karen Parnell's Tibetan Bowl meditations for an hour and a half, which sends you into a dimension. I never had such a deep meditation as I did that day. And I think in part because I was so meditated up, if you will. And I felt bliss. Despite anything else that may be going on, despite anything else I think shouldn't be going on, I felt bliss. So again, the invitation from nature is to get still, to get quiet, to go within, to hibernate if you like. Right? Yeah, powerful, powerful. Then there's Viktor Frankl, who is always an amazing example, because I keep thinking, okay, we're going through a rough patch right now in our country. I don't think there's any denying that. No matter which side of the aisle you stand on, it's rough. Viktor Frankl was the psychologist, philosopher, Austrian, I believe, who survived the concentration camps during World War II. He was married 9 weeks before he and his family, all of them, were thrown into the first concentration camp. He was in 4 of them. His wife died, his father and mother died, his brother died. He survived. And part of the reason I think he survived is because he served people in the camps. He listened, and he basically was an ear and a counselor and an uplifter. And then when he got out, he continued to do therapy. He was an amazing individual. And remember this quote you may have heard before. He said, and it certainly was his experience being in Auschwitz and other concentration camps, he said, we have no control sometimes over what happens to us in life. But what we have paramount control over is how we respond to those events. That's what we can control. So in summation here, let's change the channel. Let's turn away from all the discourse that's negative. Let's turn away from every thought of separation, every thought of evil. Now again, that doesn't mean we don't take action in the world. I'm planning to march in the Women's March in January. You betcha I'll be there, and I hope a bunch of us will be there. But we turn away from this insistence that somehow there's evil people and good people, because that's not true. There are evil actions sometimes, evil decisions, but that doesn't make the person evil. We're all children of the one God, right? Let's change the channel too about being busy and, I don't know, let's take time to be still. Let's take time to watch bird TV or nature TV. Let's take time to tune into things that are available on the electronic devices that aren't divisive or upsetting. Tara Brach, uplifting. God, let's tune into the God channels that are on the electronic devices as well. Let's change the channel. Are you with me? For my prayer, I'm going to read the prayer of St. Francis in a slightly different way. Now, are you singing it?
Right after.
Oh! I'm not surprised. We did not talk about this.
We didn't.
Well, I'm going to encourage you to make this one change if you can. It's a simple change.
Okay.
Instead of, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, guess what?
Well, we're saying a channel.
You're kidding me.
No, make me a channel.
Do you believe it? Do you need any more proof that there's one mind?
Yeah.
And I didn't think of this until, I think it was yesterday. When did you guys come up with this?
Beginning of the week.
So I'm channeling them maybe. It's really uncanny and beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. You want to tickle the keys underneath this for me a little bit? I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Just use this as a little meditation. So we can channel too. I mean, not only can we change the channel, we can channel divine wisdom, divine love. So this, although it really wasn't made by St. Francis, we don't think, it's called the Prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, Mistress, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. And so it is. Thank you.
You just saw the magic. St. Francis lived a lot of his life outdoors in nature. He was a nature lover and saw God in nature, and for that was almost excommunicated out of the Catholic Church. But I think nature protected him, and the people loved him so much. Mystic poet St. Francis. This was written about 800 years ago. And the birds used to sit on his shoulders when he would preach. So
make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, you faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. In giving of ourselves we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Make me a channel of your peace. Make me a channel of your peace.
Oh, I love you too. I'm going to call our ushers forward. Time for our tithes and offerings. And let's see, I do have a couple things to say. First of all, thank you to all of those. We're in the middle of our pledge drive, which is a way you commit to a certain level of giving for the next year. It always can be changed if your circumstances change. But I just want to reiterate that it's very important because it's the way our board knows how to budget so that we can be good financial stewards. We know how much about is going to come in. So if you have not yet turned in a pledge card, they are in the back. I bet enough if you raise your hand, one of our people could give you one. Or you could simply email Vivian and say, I plan to give so much per week, per month, or per year. It would be really helpful. We've received about half the number of cards that we received last year, so I'm still trusting that more of you will, turn one in. Come on forward, Terry and Joy. And if you give online, thank you so much. Many of you do an auto tithe, as I do. You can put a plastic Benjamin in the basket as a gesture that you too are giving, and those are available in the back of the auditorium. So let's say our giving affirmation together, if you would. Ready? Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive, and so it is. And again, thank you to your continued support for this community. Yeah, I think so.
Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is. Oh, God is all there is. Oh, God is all there is.
Oh, yeah. Woo! So we do have quite a few announcements, but I haven't taken the time to do this, and I'd like to do it. Corey, I would like to have people, if there's anybody who would like to share something you're taking away from this morning, because sometimes when we hear what other people's ahas were or recommitments or whatever, sometimes it helps us. So we don't have time for a lot, but is there anybody who feels called to share something that you feel you're going to take with you to practice or to remember this week at home? Valentina, hang on a sec, sweetie. He's going to give you the mic.
I really love the meditation thought that I was given this morning. It really resonated with me, and I really appreciate it, and I'm going to be doing that for the next 10 days.
Awesome.
Or more.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And Corey, go ahead and remove the mic from her because someone else might. Thank you, Valentina. So that, again, was I now transcend any thoughts, feelings, or actions that block my connection to the light. It was beautiful. Thank you, Carol. Anyone else? Renee? Corey? Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy.
I'm looking forward to changing the channel whenever the wrong one's on that I'm not enjoying.
Thank you, Kathy.
Could you put Carol's mantra in the newsletter?
Put what?
Could you put Carol's mantra in the newsletter?
Sure,
please?
sure. Good idea. We'll put Carol's mantra in the newsletter. Yes, yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's really sweet to just hear from you all. We haven't taken time to do that. So announcements. We have a lot going on. My goodness. Today, after service, Anita Streetman, raise your hand, or are you in the other? There she is. Anita is offering a play shop after service today at about, what, 12 or 12:30? 12:30. It's called Create Your Own Thought for the Day jar. She's got tons of quotes, and she's providing all the materials, the jars and the quotes and the art supplies. And you can create 2 if you want, one for yourself or 2 for gifts, however you want to do it. It's a great idea for a gift, and she's asking a minimum of a $10 donation to the center. She's supplying everything, so it's her gift, and it's a little fundraiser, and it will surely be a good time. So thank you so much, Anita Streetman. Our 50-50 raffle last week was a great success. We raised, what was it, $408. And Renee, this is not required, but Renee, who our winner, donated her 50 split back to the center, which is awesome. Yeah, thank you, Renee. And, you know, when we do that, it's a win-win no matter. I mean, the design is for you to take home some cash, too, because it's a win-win-win. Everybody wins. So thank you. That was awesome. I've already talked about pledge cards. Just a reminder that in this new configuration of seats, under the purple chairs on the aisle, you'll find envelopes if you're donating cash on a given Sunday, and also prayer request cards. So there's a prayer box at the back corner of the sanctuary, and if you fill out a written request, our whole ecclesiastical team will pray this week for you or someone else for whom you request prayer. So please take advantage of that. There's also a way to submit your prayer requests online. We are entertaining the suggestion that we might start service a half hour later starting in January at 11, which would mean we'd have meditation at 10:30. This came out of a team meeting talking about doing outreach into the community to bring in more young families with children. And if you think about it, working people who work 9 to 5 on the week often like to sleep in a little bit on the weekend. And if you've ever raised a family, on Sunday morning, it can be a challenge to get everybody up, dressed, and out. So I'm not sure how much of a difference that would make, but we're going to take a little straw vote here. There is on that table in the social hall, Nancy Clay prepared a little thing where you can register. Yes, I agree we should change. No, I'd like to keep our start time at 10:30, or maybe I don't have a preference. But please register your vote so that we can get a feeling for whether that will serve most of the people already in our community. And the hope is, of course, we can make our timing a little more hospitable to other people who haven't come yet. Let's see. Join us on Thanksgiving Day for a community feast. There also is sign-up sheets there. Sign up for, we have a list of what is needed, and you can sign up for what you're going to bring. That way we know how many people to count on to set up for, and that we have, and if you were here last year, man, it was an amazing feast. So feel free to come, and if you have family in town, feel free to bring them. I'm glad that I don't have to cook. Let's see. Greg Stewart, come on up, because we have great news. He has great news. Some of you were asking today, we have this we have this community service project. We've been collecting hats, gloves, scarves. Yes, Will, come on up too, please. For the homeless, which these guys are going to deliver Christmas Day as gifts to our homeless neighbors, but they have some good news.
Good morning. Totally blown away by the donations and just all the love that's come in and was placed in the container out there. This idea spawned 2 years ago when Will and I were going to the Redwoods. And Will says, man, I sure would like to go down there on the creek and hand things out to the homeless. So then we ended up discussing meeting people where they're at. And that was really important for us. And with your generous donations, now we can move out. We have 50 bags that have socks, hats, scarves, all kinds of things, maybe 20 jackets, 4 or 5 pair of boots. And we're just going to meet people where they're at down on the bike path. And we're not worried for our safety. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a totally loving event. And we're not sure when it's going to take place because weather's going to put an impact on that. So it's going to be sometime around Christmas Eve is when we'd like to do this, and anybody who would like to help us hand out items is welcome to join us. Aww. So thank you all for your donations.
Are you still taking donations, someone asked?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I was going to cover that now.
Okay.
Actually, we spent time yesterday putting these packages together, and as Greg said, we've got between 50 and 60 bags, gallon-sized bags that we can just hand to people. What I would love to do, if any of you have anything, that you'd like to bring in for us to distribute it yourself. Carry it with you in your car. When you see a homeless person, just roll down your window and hand it to them. You'll be surprised at how good you feel. So, we started the ball rolling. Keep it going.
Thank you both so much. Woo. So now that fundraiser is basically a success already, not fundraiser, community service project, we got another one. So those of you who didn't get to bring in hats or gloves or scarves, here's another idea. We have, in the past, sponsored children affiliated with Maslow Project. And Laura Stewart has gathered the names of, well, not names, I don't think we know, 4 children. On the buffet table, as on the left as you walk in here, the credenza, there are 4 different sign-up sheets for those 4 children with their Christmas wish lists. Now, the trick is we need the items to be delivered no later than December 1st, which is just 2 weeks from today. So please sign up if you'd like to support a child with what you're going to bring. Laura has also prepared lists for each child, so you can take a picture of the list or you can actually take one with you. She's so organized. And you'll notice those sheets are red and green. But if everything could be in by 2 weeks from today, it'll give her team time to wrap things and take them to Maslow Project. And let's see, is that it? I think that's it. Did I cover it? All right, I got a thumbs up from Laura. Good, because I forgot to put it in the newsletter this week. All right. Other things coming up. Bodie Starwater, some of you heard him when he was our musician here before. He will be here on Sunday, December 1st, and afterwards he's doing a sound bath healing, which is going to be phenomenal. He's asking a $30 to $35 love offering, like always here, no one turned away. If that's out of your budget, give what you can. I recommend it again as another way to do self-care and changing the channel to one of peace and connection, so that will be fun. And then the last weekend the last weekend before Christmas, the last Sunday before Christmas, after service, Laura Berryhill, Anton Mizrak, and what's her name, Vivian? Alyssa Narum, that beautiful opera singer voice. They are doing a Christmas concert, and a lot of it will be sing-along. So that's the last Sunday before Christmas. Be sure to stay afterwards. I think that's it. If you're not receiving our weekly newsletter, there's a sign-up sheet in Bosworth Hall to get that. It comes out every Wednesday. And I mentioned the prayer box, and I think that's it. So join us for fellowship and food after service. I'm going to invite any ministers or practitioners in the room to come forward. They are available after service for a quick 5-minute, we call it a 5-minute miracle. So if there's anything that's weighing on your heart for yourself, for the world, for our community, for loved ones, sit with a practitioner. You can go into my office to do it. We're going to ask people, if you can, to move into the social hall so it's a little quieter in here for prayer. But please take advantage of these beautiful souls and what they offer. And they're also available for longer sessions for a fee. Good time of year to gift yourself or someone else a practitioner session. Okay. So let's repeat the mantra one more time. I now transcend any thoughts, feelings, or actions that block my connection to the light. Thank you, and so it is. Take it away, musicians.
This is the peace
If you're
song.
able,
Everyone
come on and
stand.
stand.
Join hands. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Yeah, woohoo! Yes, great job, you guys.